If you can hear me now, press 1. Type in a 1 if you can hear me. Hell, no sound.
What is on YouTube?
You can hear me, press 1. Oh, Most High Christ. Yeah, started. Still out here for the delay, Israel. You know, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Always trying to stop, you know what I mean, the spread of the truth. This is why we pray that the Most High opens up the airwaves. That being said, I'm preaching Officer 50 Yediah. This is a Wednesday night biblical law class. I'm holding it down to preaching Officer 1000 Danya Allah gets here. If I could. Israel. This is not the time to come out here and still be a wicked sinner. I know a lot of y'all is upset. I know y'all mad that, you know what I mean, the Most High to shut this nation down with the COVID-19. Y'all really thought that the Most High was going to let Trump open this up by July 3rd? You thought by July 3rd and July 4th that you was going to go out there, you know what I mean, and cook up every abomination on your grill. You thought you was going to throw them pork ribs out there. You thought you was going to throw that shrimp out there and that lobster. Come on now. The Most High said, all right, you thought I was done with you. You thought I was done with you, Trump. You thought I was done with you, Cuomo. You can't come out here and say, if you're Donald Trump, well, we're fighting against the invisible enemy. We feel as though that we're stronger and we're smarter. Lie. The Most High said, watch this. That's why California, that's why Texas, hell, Florida and Georgia, their cases have spiked up because the Most High is not done with this wicked nation. And the fact that our people are still trying to make excuses, this is not the time to continue in your way. If I could, so go ahead, sir.
You forgot about the ducks that sand coming from Africa. And that's from there. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, elaborate, sir, if I could.
It looks like a sandstorm that coming from Africa.
A sandstorm?
Yeah, it comes from Florida over to the United States. It's
Ooh, good night.
I don't know if you heard about it.
Good night.
I think it comes from the Sahara Desert.
Good night. So the Most High sent a sandstorm and the COVID. He said, y'all want to go down there to Miami Beach and have COVID-19 parties? I got something for you. Not only are you going to catch the coronavirus, I'm going to send a sandstorm from the Sahara Desert. Good night. Good night. Don't you understand, Israel, that the Most High is not to be played with? Not to be played with. And for all you silly Negroes, because Israel, I had a silly Negro tell me, well, you know, we're not going to celebrate on July 4th. I was like, all right, brother, what you going to do? We're going to celebrate on the 3rd. We're going to throw the grills out on the 3rd. Negro, don't you understand that you look foolish? That you look stupid as hell? Celebrating the oppressor's Independence Day? Come on now. Come on, y'all about to sir. You want the class right away, sir? Conor Khan. Listen, you look dumb as hell sitting here trying to make and justify yourself throwing your grill out there. Don't you know that the Most High does not honor or respect or acknowledge any of the feast days that man has? Not 4th of July, not your Thanksgiving, not your Christmas. As a matter of fact, let me get that for you. We're going to go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. Amos 5 and 21 says, I hate. And for all you silly Christians out there, Amos 5 and 21 is saying, I hate. This is the Lord speaking. I hate. You think the Most High is all about love? He's saying, I hate. I despise your feast days. The Most High is saying, I despise your feast days. I despise your 4th of July. I despise your Thanksgiving. I despise your birthday. I despise your Christmas. All your silly holidays, I despise them. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. What does that mean? The Most High not going to smell that abomination that you're going to throw up on the grill July 3rd or July 4th. He ain't going to smell none of that. He ain't with it. And this is why we need to understand that we have a God that we need to serve. We need to acknowledge his feast days, like the Sabbath, the Passover, where he passed over us and slaughtered the Egyptians, the firstborns of the Egyptians. And we are going to have the Lord's Passover. What about the Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of Tabernacles, man? These are the high holy days and feast observances that we need to do that the Most High told us. The Most High does not acknowledge your feast days. That's why he's saying, I hate, I despise your feast days. And this is why the COVID-19 is here. Because the oppressor really believed that he was going to be able to open up and everything was going to be all good. That everything was going to be tawab. La-ah. La-ah. And I'm going to get 2 scriptures for you on that real quick if I could. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61 says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them the Lord will bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. To every plague which is not written, COVID-19 ain't specified specifically, but it's saying of every plague which is not written. So it ain't just talking about that coronavirus. Something else is on the way too. There's something far more deadly and far more lethal that the Most High is going to unleash if you keep playing with it. The oppressor really believes that he can go to war with the Most High, which is silly. You want to know why it's silly? We're going to get a precept on that. Humo came out here and said, that God didn't bring down the coronavirus cases. We did. That devil is so arrogant. You see the spirit that these devils had? He said, we brought down those cases. And not soon after that, the children of New York, the oppressor's children, got inflammation, which is also in the Bible. You keep playing with the Lord if you want to. This is why the Lord said in Isaiah chapter 47, and I'm going to start at verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. The nakedness of this kingdom, the nakedness of America, Babylon, is going to be uncovered. What is the nakedness? The nakedness is your shame, the shame of the oppressor. Because the oppressor is a shameless bastard. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. Look at what he does to us. The oppressor has no problem taking you from a storefront, throwing you on the ground and putting his knee on your neck and leaving it there for over 8 minutes, killing you. But you better not take a knee on his football field. You better not try to start your own league if you're somebody like Kyrie Irving. You better not. Listen, you can't even jog in the wrong neighborhood. You can't do that. You can't be a sister just chilling in the house talking with your mother and the police come in and kill you and throw you out the window. You can't be playing the game with your nephew. That devil gonna come in there and kill you. He's showing us. And this is why the Most High is dealing with the oppressor in this manner with this COVID-19. But the oppressor believes that he can go to war with the Most High, that he can fight him. This is why the Lord said, I'm going to read it again, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. The shame of the oppressor is going to be seen, man, in this nation. What else is that shame? Look what they're doing to our Hispanic brothers and sisters at the border. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters catch all type of hell in the countries that they came from. No matter if you in Central America, El Salvador, doesn't matter if you are in Brazil or Mexico, you leaving to escape from your hell, the hell that you are going through there. And hell ain't some place under the ground where some devil with pink pantyhose or red spandex is poking you. Hell is a low condition, the lowest condition, which Black, Hispanics, and First Nation people are in. Look at that shame that take a people that come here, the Lord's people, that come and gather your oranges, that work in those fields, man, that cook the best food in all of the earth, and you take their children away from them. You take our babies away from us. Throw us in cages. Man, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. The shame of the oppressor is being seen right now. This is why he's saying, and I will take vengeance. The Lord is saying he is going to take vengeance on the oppressor. That he is going to take vengeance. You think the oppressor can just walk around and continue to live, you know what I mean, free? Free, white, and 21, as I like to say? Because that's how we live. The oppressor is free to do that. Because we disobeyed the Most High. But we are gathering ourselves together, as Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1 says. We are coming back. We are serving the Most High in Christ, having faith in our King Yahushua, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Most High is saying that I'm going to take vengeance against the oppressor. Take vengeance for what? Taking vengeance for what happened to Breonna Taylor. Taking vengeance for what happened to Trayvon Martin, which happened to Philando Castillo, what happened to our First Nation brothers and sisters. They are still trying to fight and battle the oppressor over the Dakota pipeline, when all of this land belonged to Gad and Reuben and Issachar. All of this belonged to the northern kingdom, man. The Lord is saying, I will take vengeance. And for the oppressor to be so evil and say, We're going to battle against the invisible enemy. You really think you can battle against the invisible enemy, huh? You really think you can go one-on-one with the Most High? Let's read what the Most High has to say about that. And it says, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. The Lord is not going to meet you as a man oppressor. You're not going to be able to square up with the Most High and throw hands with him. Your arms are way too short. Way too short. That's why the scriptures say thy sins have reached unto heaven. The Lord is going to remember what you have done. This is why he's saying, I'm not going to meet thee as a man. That's why when the coronavirus came, it just rocked everything. Shut all of his businesses down. You got to understand, the oppressor right now is going through it. He is in shambles right now. Right now, to try to keep the economy alive, he's like, well, I got to give them something. I got to give them $1,200, which ain't nothing. Which ain't nothing, black man, Hispanic man, First Nation man and woman. The oppressor does not have your benefit at heart. He will never love and honor you. The oppressor is our enemy, man. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. The fact that he truly believes that this is a war that he can win, because when our king cracks that, when the Most High cracks that sky and our king Yahweh Shah Mashiach comes with them 200 million angels, man, they're going to lay waste to the oppressor. And they are going to go into slavery. They are going to be slaughtered for the violence that they have done unto us. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, well, it has to be some good oppressor. It ain't none of them. It ain't no such thing as a good oppressor. And guess what? They can cry and complain all they want. The Most High is going to destroy them. And you see it right now. The COVID-19, the coronavirus, is just the tip of the iceberg. It is just the tip of the iceberg. Why do I say it's the tip of the iceberg? Because there are other plagues. Them other plagues that came and hit Egypt, that rock Pharaoh, they are going to come back and they are going to fall on the oppressor. If I could, we're going to go to 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5 as be my last scripture. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the earth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's what's happening right now. The plagues is coming. COVID-19 is just the tip. The sword, meaning war. Famine, meaning shortage of food, death. People are dying, man. COVID-19 is running rampant and destroying people. People are dropping like flies. And destruction. You can forget about it when it comes to the destruction. Look at all the rioting, the looting, and the protesting right now in the midst of this. So you mean to tell me people are rioting, looting? There is, rumors of war that Christ prophesied in Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. So you got war coming, you got famine, shortage of food, and you have plagues? Come on now. Come on. Now is not the time to continue to be asleep, Israel. You got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and have faith in our King Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the class off to priest and officer of 1,000 Danyal.
Water. Time Christ. Priest and officer Danyala. Of course, y'all know this is the Wednesday law class. All right. Let me see. First, I'm gonna open up. Do anybody got any questions? Is it any questions online? All right, cool. All right, cool. I just sent you a. I just sent you another story we gonna go into. Yeah, but what the brother was bringing.
Oh, we place it right there when you move the sound goes outside.
Okay, all right, cool. Salaki. Yeah, man. So, you know, damn near all of them wind up dying or whatnot. You got some pastors come on TV and do some type of witch act and claim they blowing the corona away. Meanwhile, Philadelphia was supposed to open up this Friday, and it wound up getting pushed back until next month. So now we got a whole nother month. We got to wait for, you know, Philadelphia, the city, to start opening back up. And it's like that with, you know, with multiple places, because the Lord is not playing. The Lord is not playing. And each day where people feel as though it's light at the tunnel, the Lord destroyed this empire even more, to the point where the plagues that the Most High is bringing out, man, they coming nonstop. You got, like the brother brought out earlier, you got where they was, a bunch of the kids had inflammation and they didn't know what the hell to do or how to control it. You got another story coming out where they say that they don't even know if they create an antidote, they ain't even sure if the vaccine is going to work. They almost don't even want to create a vaccine because they feel as though it's going to mutate the coronavirus. You know, and it's just now, you know, they talking about the swine flu coming back. They talking about the swine flu. Article just came out, which we're going to get into, where they talks about that the swine flu might be back. It's the swine flu, right? Yeah, the swine flu coming back. How many new diseases been popping up during this COVID? And then I'm pretty sure somewhere later on down the line, they going to link the COVID-19 to it, which brought it back. But the Most High is bringing these plagues back, and he ain't playing. Let's go a little bit into the story if you got it. The swine flu plagues.
China researchers discovered new swine flu with pandemic potential.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese researchers have discovered a new type.
Read that again.
China researchers discovered new swine flu with pandemic potential.
New swine flu with pandemic potential, meaning this swine flu might shut the country down. This swine flu might cause us for a pandemic. It might do the same thing the COVID-19 did. Read.
Chinese researchers have discovered a new type of swine flu that can infect humans and has the potential to cause a future pandemic, according to a study released on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Though scientists have cautioned that the virus does not pose an immediate global health threat.
Right, they saying because the virus is not that strong yet. Enough people didn't get affected by it to where as though they should be cause for concern. But at the end of the day, it's the swine flu. And they taking that into consideration because they remember the last time we went into a pandemic because of the swine flu and what it did. They saying this is a new one that they got to watch out for because in the future it might cause another pandemic. Meaning what? If the COVID ever is done and over with, they're going to have to worry about the swine flu now.
Right.
Now they're going to have to worry about the swine flu coming back. Which means what? How did the swine flu come about in the first place? From the eating the pigs. From the eating the pigs. Swine flu came from simply people eating pigs. The same way COVID-19 got here. You know, swine flu got here from eating pigs. So now they are saying that it's a possibility in the future we're going to go into a pandemic. They just going to wait and see. Read.
The disease, which researchers call the G4 virus, is genetically descended from the H1N1 swine flu that caused a pandemic in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
G4 now shows all the essential hallmarks of a candidate pandemic virus.
Right.
said the study published in the scientific journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Our understanding of what is a potential pandemic influenza strain is limited, she posted on Twitter. Sure, this virus meets a lot of the basic criteria, but it's not for sure going to cause a hypothetical 2020 flu pandemic, or even be a dominant strain in humans.
So she could say that all she wants. I'm pretty sure they felt about that in swine flu. The swine flu hit. I'm pretty sure they didn't think it was going to cause, that big of a deal where it's going to shut the whole country down. Just like when they talked about the coronavirus, when it first got released over in China. Pretty sure they ain't they ain't feel it was going to do what it does now. We 6 months into it? 6 months into it and still getting new cases. 6 months into it and plane tickets are still $15 to go somewhere. Like, can you imagine that? Like, from here to California is $100 round trip. It's probably cheaper now. Like, last year, that was $700. Like, things got that bad. Things got that bad. Read on.
Chinese researchers based at several institutions, including Shandong Agricultural University and the Chinese National Influenza Center, discovered the G4 virus during a pig surveillance program from 2011 to 2018. They collected more than 30,000 nasal swab samples from pigs at slaughterhouses and veterinary teaching hospitals across 10 Chinese provinces.
Listen, they find, like I said last week, they find new disease, and they always find the new disease in unclean animals. Because there's a reason the Most High say you are not supposed to eat them. A lot of these animals naturally live with these type of diseases in their body. It's how they function. Every animal functions a different type of way other than a human. Like, clean animals regurgitate their food when you're dealing with the beast. The beasts of the field, like the cows and goats and everything, all of them regurgitate their food. All of them do different type of things that's natural to them that might seem weird to us.
It's called cud.
Yeah, regurgitate the cud. Yeah, that's what it's called. Chew up the cud, which means regurgitate their food. That's what all of them do. And then you got certain animals like the bat. You got a pig who they say can get bit by the most venomous snake on the earth and live. Right. Pigs carry all type of toxins and diseases in their body because they don't sweat. And they don't sweat. They don't sweat out bacteria. They don't sweat out viruses, anything. Like, pigs don't do none of that. So they carry a lot of disease, but it's healthy to them. A lot of stuff they eat is healthy to them. So they naturally walk around technically sick, but they healthy. So what happens when you eat something that got 10 different diseases in their body, but these disease helps them function and get through life? You're going to catch it. It's going to transmit unto you. How long do people think they was going to eat pig and not catch the disease that the pig carry around? They doing the nasal swabs of these pigs, trying to make sure that they, FDA approved and can get sold. And they starting to realize that a lot of these pigs got something wrong with them. But the pigs didn't show that when they was alive. The pigs walked around like they was normal. They ate, they drank water, they used the bathroom. They had no signs of being sick. But yet they start nasal swabbing these pigs and started to discover, dang, they carrying a new strain of the swine flu that can probably in the future affect America and cause a pandemic. Read a little bit more.
But the G4 virus kept showing showing up in pigs every year after year, and even showed sharp increases in the swine population after 2016.
See, it kept showing up year after year. But why are they saying something about it now? They knew that a lot of these, every time they navel swab a pig, the what they call it, the G4 what? They knew that these pigs that they was navel swabbing had the G4 virus. They knew that, and they probably couldn't understand why. Because that's something that's healthy to a pig. Like that's not killing pigs. That's not bothering them. Read on. Like that's not.
Further tests show that the G4 can infect humans by binding to our cells and receptors, and it can replicate quickly inside our airway cells. And though G4,
no, go ahead.
Oh God. And though G4 holds H1N1 genes, people who have received seasonal flu vaccinations won't have any immunity.
Read on.
G4 already appears to have infected humans in China and Hebei and Shandong provinces, both places with high pig numbers. More than 10% of swine workers on pig farms and 4.4% of the general population tested positive in a survey from 2016 to 2018.
And most of this stuff always start out the same way. Another nation get affected by it the most. Black people start thinking because of the pigmentation in their skin, they can't catch no disease, and they're the most healthiest on this planet because of pigmentation. And then what happened? We start being the most affected by it, and here come the conspiracy theories. Here come the government is trying to kill us. That's why we are the leading cause in these categories. Nobody never want to say, maybe them crazy niggas on the corner who I walked by was right when they said this. They told me black people lead in every category. Speakers, I went into all the statistics that black people lead in. It was all of them. HIV, AIDS, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, you name it. Any disease on the face of the earth, I pulled the statistics and went into how we are the leading cause in all of them, even though we are the smallest race of people in America. Like we about I think black people was 10%, Hispanics was like 17%. So we make up for about 17% of the population in America as a whole nation, but yet we lead in every category. We lead in every single category. So all the other, 80-something% that's left is other nations, and we beat all of them. We beat all of them, which says something. It says a lot. Read on. That's about it on that? Give me the swan scripture. We'll do the round. Because that's like a swan is that's like a Philly cheesesteak to a person from the South. That's what that pig is. That pig is like, do they even have pigs on Thanksgiving? Or they replace it with turkeys? They replace the pig with a turkey on Thanksgiving or something, man? That pig down there, that pig to black people in general is that's like, a delicacy. That's like the lamb at the Passover. That's just something we gotta have. We think it's a part of our history. Go ahead.
Tradition.
Yep, that's a tradition to us. We look at that like, it's a tradition that every feast, so-called white oppressor holiday, pork have to be there no matter what feast it is. You name a feast, pork have to be there. If not, you ain't black. Go ahead.
I was gonna say piggyback off of what him said, which is so heavy about Our people look at it today as like tradition, but that's not our tradition. But our King Yahushua told us we see the abomination of desolation. Go back to that. When we see the oppressor come in and sacrifice pigs, that was a sign for us to get the hell out of there. But now, swine has become our tradition to eat because it's a tradition of the oppressor.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, sir.
Actually, the oppressor, he used to, give us the leftovers of the pig, man. The horrible parts of the pig, And now we took the horrible parts and think it's the best part of the pig, like the nasty behind chitlins. I mean, where I'm from, man, Thanksgiving and Christmas, you just get about the whole house like chitlins, man. I almost said the expert, but
Right. Right.
Ain't no killing that smell, man.
No.
We gotta leave the house, man.
Yeah, right. You gotta go over a friend house, which is so heavy because we look at the pig feet and the chitlins as something special when even the slave owners didn't even eat that.
Right.
That was just like, oh, they hungry? Like, you know how sometimes you might hear a brother talking about in the kingdom, they're gonna have their slaves eat chicken beef. Like brothers say that, look, they're gonna eat chicken beef. They think of all type of crazy things. Like, look, I'm gonna give my slave the chicken beef. That's how, the oppressors back then would just do. They would just say, listen, those niggas hungry. Listen, if they don't got enough strength to eat, then they can't really pick cotton and do the work. So look, kill a pig, give them the feet, give them the intestines, have them eat it. There we go. Over time, they fell in love with it. Like, we keep the same traditions that of things we did back in slavery. The intestines, and that is the crazy thing, right? Like, think about it. No other animal that black people eat, they eat the intestines. Not one. They don't take no animal and eat the intestines of it other than the pig. It's damn near when they eat pork is they top 3 choice. Intestines is in the top 3. The chitlins is in the top 3. You never see nobody in the kitchen taking, let's say like a beef, taking the cow intestines and they cleaning it out. Like, yeah, we about to eat these, and clean it out. Whole house smell like, crap and all that. Think about it. Chickens, turkeys, whatever animals that they eat, they never eat the intestines of it. But when it comes to the pig, they have to have the best part, which is the intestines, which is chitlins. Go ahead.
When it comes to the pig, man, they eat the whole thing. Like, I see people cook a pig on people cook a pig on the ground. Mm-hmm. Or they'll put the whole pig on the stick and roast them. Yep. They put apple in his mouth, they eat the snout and nose. They eat the pig from the root to the tooth.
Right. Yeah. They put the apple in the mouth to get a head, some flavor.
Yeah.
And they eat everything. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, that is just crazy. Like, it's the pig, and then really the only other animal that black people, the black, Hispanics, and Native Americans eat is probably like chicken feet or something. And that's barely. But it's like, if you damn near eat pork, you eat pig feet. You love the pig feet.
One thing, like, and also, I go to the grocery store, right? Pig is the cheapest thing to buy, man. It's the most cheapest meat to buy. Black people don't even notice what the white man doing, man. It's right there in front of your eyes. He would have pig. The first thing he have on the aisles is that pork, man. And it's the cheapest thing you can buy. Mm-hmm. He wants you to eat it. He knows against the Lord, man.
Not only he knows it against the Lord, he know we still slaves.
Right.
He giving us things to eat that he always gave us to eat. That's why when I went to McDonald's earlier, right, to try to get my son a Happy Meal. and they still was selling breakfast. Every meat on the breakfast menu was pork. And I sat there and said, why don't y'all have turkey? Like, I don't understand that for some reason. From the number 1 up until the number 15 selection, if it had meat in it, it was pork. And I asked, yeah, sir, we don't have no turkey, beef, everything on this. And I'm like, why, though?
The chicken McGrill. The chicken McGrill.
Nah, they don't got that down here.
Oh, yeah.
I had a similar problem. My slave very across the street from McDonald's. Man, I went over there. They said, we have no more chicken McGriddle, but you can get a regular McGriddle. They said, nobody wants that shit. So like,
and just like Thumbayum was saying, it costs more. Like when you the reason that pork is cheaper to buy, which is why every store sells it. That's why every store sells it, because they saving money. Why buy a box of beef? Why buy a crate of beef for $500 when I can get a crate of pork for $150? What is the point? I mean, why get a crate of turkey for $500 when I can get a crate of pork for $150? It just don't make no sense. That's why every fast food restaurant or franchise I don't get breakfast from. The only place is Dunkin' Donuts, and they goddamn turkey sandwiches is like $5 and it's about this big. But you can get a bacon and cheese, a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, whatever, from there, and it's a nice size. You be like, man, that's gonna fill me up. Hey, what is that bacon? Pork. What about the beef or the turkey? They give you a little patty about this big on a flatbread that's about this round. You like, what the? I'm gonna need about 7 of these. Like, I'm gonna need about 7 of these things, JJ.
I was gonna say, sir, because I did this one time. A pound of pork costs way more than a half a pound of beef bacon. So, like, if you get like a pound of pork bacon, you're looking at like maybe like $3, maybe $4. But if you try to get like a pound of beef bacon, you're gonna go $10.
Bro, right, because it costs more, because the oppressor is looking at it like, he always fed this to us. Get them niggas, whatever. Like, even when you go into the suburb markets, they don't have as much pork in there as we do in our neighborhoods. Like, they don't have as much pork in there. They sell it, but they don't have as much. Like, I'll be seeing filet salmon, filet mignon. I'll be like, what the hell? I can find filet mignon in none of the market, none of the fresh grocers that's around me. I can't find filet mignon. But every fresh grocer or Save-A-Lot in the suburb area sell filet mignon, and you get about 2 big ass steaks for about $20. But if you catch that same pack of steaks down here in our neighborhood, you looking at about $40. And it's like, come on. Like, and they mix pork in a lot of the products as of today because it decreased the value. So like, I was looking at something that said it was like beef. It was beef and noodles or something like that. But then when you read the ingredients on the back, it had pork mixed into it.
Yeah, you gotta watch some damn Vienna sausages. Slim Jim.
Yes, definitely.
Beef and pork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard some candy got pork in it too. I think, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, some of them, but from what I know lately, a lot of them is switching it. I know Skittles had pork in it.
What?
Yeah, Skittles, but they switched it though. They made it because of a lot of stuff they put in. They switching the gelatin in it from pork gelatin to beef gelatin or the fish gelatin. And they doing it because they saying it's kosher because the Amalek community was complaining about it. They started to complain about how they can't get anything without pork in it, especially candy, Pop-Tarts. I know the Pop-Tarts, they changed the pork from the the pork gelatin to the beef gelatin, and the Skittles. I think it was like Starburst, gummy bears, depending on the brand though. If it's like a name brand, then it's beef gelatin really.
Right.
And that's all because Amalek started to say something. So now they say, when you call a number on the back and ask them about the ingredients, ask them the question, they'll tell you it's beef gelatin. But when you look deeper into it, it's straight up because Amalek do it. But still stuff like Kellogg's, Rice Krispie treats, that still got pork in it.
Wow.
I think Lucky Charms got pork in it. They marshmallows got pork in it. But those things you could double check. Last I checked, they had pork in it, but you could double check because they might have switched it because that's what a lot of companies doing nowadays. They switching it from beef gelatin to pork gelatin. Even with medicine capsules, the capsules is gelatin. Most of them is pork, but a lot of them is vegetarian gelatins and beef gelatins. They won't be specific on the back. You just have to call a number to find out. So if you're taking any type of capsules, read on the back what the capsule is made out of, because capsules are gelatin. Now you just got to read what type of gelatins it is. So anytime I see a vitamin or anything that I need to take and it's made out of, and it's in a capsule form, I will call and see what is the capsule made out of, because a lot of them is, they switched it from pork to beef. Yeah, which the oppressor is doing something he's been doing in slavery. Get them niggas the pork. You know, black people ain't complaining that it's pork and everything. We the only ones calling the back of the numbers and saying something. Nobody else doing that. Nobody else is doing that. So, give me the scripture in Deuteronomy about the pork.
Yeah, come, cuz. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
The swine divided the hoof. And when you look at the swan feet, the hoof is divided.
Oh, I'm about to say that.
Oh, perfect.
That's the cows.
Yeah, but this is the cow. A swine foot is similar to this. This is the hoof. The foot, see how it's divided? It's divided down the middle, divided into two. It ain't like a foot or nothing. So the swine foot is like this, and this is a cow. So people gonna be up, oh, he got a pig feet in there. You know how people like to make shit up. So this is a hoof, and this is a hoof divided right here. You see, it got the split down the middle.
Right.
Read.
Come, yet cheweth not the cud.
But don't chew the cud. Chew the cud meaning what? What we went into earlier. Meaning eat the food and regurgitate the food. So meaning what? A clean animal would chew food, hold it in his stomach, and regurgitate it, meaning throw it up, chew it again, and eat it again, and swallow it. The animal don't do that. Then read.
It is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
Right. So why do you think that they going to do nose swabs on a goddamn pig and surprised when they find this pig got the G1 virus living inside of it? And they sit there like, oh my God, he was very fine. When I took him out to eat, he was fine. Nothing was wrong with him. He's walking around with a virus. Yes, because that virus is helping that goddamn pig function. Any medicine you give it is just going to reject it. That's how it is. Because they're not meant to be eaten. A pig is damn near like a bottom feeder, like how shrimps and crabs and lobsters are to the ocean. You know, back in like the 1800s or something, the trash day was everybody would just throw trash out on the street. People would buy a bunch of pigs, come through the city, let the pigs loose. The pig would just eat all the trash, clean the city up, just like that. That's what a pig do. How is a pig able to eat any and everything? Pigs eat dead bodies. A pig can eat another dead pig if the hell he They see it. Pig eat nothing. Go ahead.
So a pig don't sweat.
Yeah, right. But I said that I went into that earlier. A pig don't sweat, so they can't sweat out none of the viruses, bacteria, anything in their body. You know, so how can a pig eat all this stuff and digest it and be just fine? Because that's the pig job. That's what a pig was made for and whatnot. So you surprised that a pig living with a virus in it, when this mother, like this pig would eat another goddamn pig and be cool? And not saying that means anything, because I got into a few battles where people would be like, well, what is the point of the Lord? Or what is the point of not eating pork? And I'll be like, because he told us to. The Most High told us not to eat pork. Well, I mean, I don't get it. Like, what's the significance of not eating pork? Because he told us not to. I'm not about to go into the scientific facts and all that about it. Like, I seen another so-called Israelite can't do a whole segment on why you shouldn't eat pork. And this was when I was in the world slightly coming into the truth, trying to find my way. And I'm watching it, and he's going into the scientific facts on why you shouldn't eat pork. And I'm sitting there like, okay, it made sense. Later on down the line, I looked at it like, why in the hell you need to dig deep into the scientific facts on why you shouldn't eat pork? The Lord said don't do it. The Lord said don't do it, so don't eat it. Oh, all right, cool. The Lord said don't do it, so don't do it. I'm not about to go and dig up the scientific facts on the digestive system of a pig and what it does to a human body when you consume it. Why do I got to do that? Because what happened if you look up all that and it tells you, like for an example, a lot of people that's in the health field will tell you that a pig is actually healthy for you to eat. They would tell you that tuna is actually healthy for you to eat. Tuna has a lot of health benefits. That's what they would tell you. So when you go dig into the purpose of a pig and what it does to the human body, when it says it helps you build muscle and it helps you build, bone strength, what the hell are you going to do then? Oh, so the Lord was wrong? You can't think about it like the Lord don't want us to eat it because it kills the body. Nah. The reason when you eat that stuff to kill your body is because the Lord killing your body. That's why that's happening. Read on.
Verse 9. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Now that's going into, of course, the waters, the fish, and all that, which is a different topic. But to just go on further on what I'm saying, a lot of people will tell you that a lot of these unclean animals will have health benefits to your body, which they probably do. And guess what? Health benefits don't mean nothing when the Lord tell you don't eat it. So guess what? You're going to get the muscles for about 3 months. And then you're going to go into cardiac arrest. And you're going to try to figure out, like, I done seen that a million times. God damn, he is so healthy. I don't know how that happened. And then when I find out what his diet consists of, I'll be like, it's about 80% tuna, 15% pork, 5% oysters, seafood, shrimp, and all that. All because he wanted to get strong and lose weight and everything and live a healthier lifestyle. And guess what? You sitting in the hospital like, Doc, it just won't stop growing. What the hell is the issue? Why won't I stop bleeding from my ears? And he gonna be like, well, what does your diet consist of? And you tell him, He's gonna tell you, oh, you gotta cut that out. You can't eat that no more. You know? So which goes into what we was talking about earlier, man. Like you can do whatever you want, which was going to be my topic, how people feel as though we got free will. A lot of people argue that the Lord give you free will. I done heard some so-called Israelite groups say the same thing. You got free will. You got free will, you know, to do what you want. Of course, Christians believe that. You got free will to do what you want. And that's just, the Lord put you here and gave you free will. Of course, they don't understand what free will is. They think because they have the option or the choice to do something, meaning that's the Lord giving them free will. But that's just like every nigga would know, right? When we was kids, and I'm bringing this up because I see this video, it was so funny, of things you went through as a child. You know how sometimes when you get into an argument with somebody you about to fight, you would pick up a pencil or just anything and put it on your shoulder. And you'd be like, knock it off and watch what I do. And the person got the option to not knock it off or do knock it off. When he knock it off, you whip his ass for knocking it off. Now, right there, yo, knock it off and watch what I do. In their mind, they got free will to do whatever the hell they want. If I don't knock it off, you're not going to do nothing. If I do knock it off, you're not going to do nothing. But guess what? You knocked it off and got your ass whipped. And man was just like, God damn, I shouldn't have did that. That's not free will. It's just the understanding of free will that we think we have as of today. And based off of people understanding of the Bible, they think we got free will when it's not free will. I'm going to go into that tonight. The Most High is not giving you free will to make any choices. Or your understanding of free will is just a misunderstanding. It's just like everything that you believe. The Immaculate Conception, the law done away with. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, so you think wrong about it. So guess what? Here's another thing that I'm bringing up that might seem so simple, but the Lord don't give you free will. So let's go into that next story. Here's another proof on how the Most High don't give you free will. Atlanta.
Atlanta gay club shuts down after patrons test positive for COVID-19.
Atlanta gay club shut down. Read that again.
Atlanta gay club shuts down after patrons test positive for COVID-19.
Man, when you read this story and find out how they found out and everything, it was just like the Most High just in the making, just kick their ass. And not just for the gay club. That's for any club could have caught this. You know, everybody in there goddamn sinning. But it's like a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of stuff. It's like, can you hit me one more time? A lot of them gay clubs, man. You know, and down in Atlanta too. Atlanta is proud. He said like everybody in Atlanta but the UPK. Let's say that. All right. Everybody in Atlanta but the UPK. Listen, man. Atlanta is the home of the. I had somebody tell me one time they never going back to Atlanta, and I was like, why? He was like, because any place I gotta watch I gotta watch the females I'm talking to. I don't want to be there. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know if they're a male or a female. Like, so I don't even want to even deal with that. And I'm like, it's like that? Yeah, it's like that. Like Atlanta is like, Atlanta got some bad rap for that homosexuality. Atlanta has some very bad rap for that homosexuality. And now this club shut down because the people in there tested positive for COVID-19. Which I ain't surprised. Anybody in the truth could have seen this coming. The Most High been kicking everybody's ass, since it started. I forgot his name, the mayor out of New York. He made the comment, the Lord didn't stop the COVID-19, I did. And then the next week, they get a new disease, which was for the kids, which was the inflammation caused by the COVID. They get a disease of an inflammation caused by the COVID, to where as though parents are crying and screaming at the doctor saying, yo, what is going on? Fix it. And they like, we don't even know what the hell is happening. And then also too, about the other place, I forgot where it was at, where people were developing blood clots in their lungs. And they was discovering it was coming from the COVID. Like the COVID was mutating. So autopsies, when they do an autopsy on a person, they will realize what killed them was these blood clots on his lungs, and they trying to figure out how the hell it got there. And then some people was getting blood clots. They would get on the medicine to prevent the blood clots, and it would just enhance it. And they sitting there like, yo, there's nothing we can do. Like, so, it's just, the Most High is not playing. Let's go into a little bit of the story.
Heretic. An Atlanta gay club has suspended its event out of an abundance of caution after several patrons tested positive for the COVID-19. The positive diagnosis.
They probably was loyal customers too. Goddamn freaks. Go ahead.
The diagnosis was reported to management following a June 20th dance party. Headline: there was dozens more women sick, although Hendrick acknowledged only 2 confirmed cases in his public statements.
Listen, I'm starting to believe nobody is going to release the actual number of cases that they didn't came across. The more you release, the longer you got to stay closed. Everybody is about money and about business. 2 cases. Like, come on. 2 cases. It's just BS. Go ahead, read on.
Comic Cup. After the initial backlash, Hendrick's general manager, Alan Collins, said the club will continue to hold events while enforcing health precautions like temperature checks and mandatory wearing of masks, which would be provided free of charge. Now, after at least 2 guests confirmed the COVID-19 diagnosis, the club, out of an abundance of caution, will postpone all scheduled events until further notice, so we can continue to gather more information and adjust our operation.
So, at first, they wasn't going to shut nothing down because they was just going to provide masks and gloves. And I was going to stop you right there and go on a little, and I was going to say, I give it a few weeks before we shut down completely. But as you keep reading, it's saying in the goddamn story that they shut down completely. They postponing all events. Right. What is masks and gloves going to do? First of all, the mask is not meant to be worn 3-4 hours a day. They not meant. The mask is meant so when you put it on, go into a place, what you getting, come out, take it off. You got these people wearing these masks 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day at these clubs. Somebody's eventually going to go and put it out or wipe the sweat from their face and just put the mask back on. Somebody's going to go somewhere, just take it off and be like, I can't breathe. Even though it have a little filter on it. It's letting you get air out and air in. Go ahead, you had your hand up?
I was going to say, sir, you were so heavy, but even the CDC, they tell you, they gave us a little BS statement about what a bag prevents you from giving it to someone. If you even look at China, they're wearing full hazmat suits, like full protective suits that's well insulated, and people are still getting it. It's like going to the 1950s when they tell you, well, just in case of a nuclear attack, you hide under your desk. It's a false sense of security. The mask is not going to help you. On the way up here, this African Uber driver told somebody else, I was trying that. He said, excuse me, sir, you need to wear your mask. I'm like, the hell is that mask going to do? And before we got into them, he had his mask off.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. You didn't have your mask off, cough, and in your nose and everything before I got in.
Right.
And then now I get in, you want me to be wearing a mask and all that. Nah, get the hell out of here, man. You did everything. That coronavirus is floating around in here by now. Go ahead.
He was like, man, he was like, I'll get upset. I said, damn, I need this mask right there.
That's the thing. I need to go hold you because now I start doing oppressors and heathens how they do me. And sometimes they'll be watching. Like I'll be about to walk into a store and see them walking out. I'll go just like, put that joint on and just look at them as they walk by. And I'll walk right in. Yeah, I'm sure you know how y'all look at us when we walk by y'all cross the street. I'm putting on the mask when I'm around y'all. Mm-hmm. And then when they get out, okay. If I ain't required to wear one, I'll take it off. No, that's just me though. But go ahead, read on.
Come.
And no questions online, right?
Sir. No questions on.
And no questions in the room?
Sir. No questions.
All right, cool. Go ahead, read on.
April 24th, Georgia began easing restrictions during the health crisis, becoming one of the first states to do so. The state has seen a rise in infections since June and reported more than 2,200 coronavirus diagnoses Sunday, a record high.
Every damn city that reported corona statistics been record highs, like everywhere. Every place been an all-time high because every place opened up. You opening up. And I seen something online too where they were saying that because of the corona, that they was talking about releasing the Mexicans out of the cages because the coronavirus, if they keep them in there any longer, then they are all at risk of dying because of the coronavirus. So they was talking about releasing them. And I'm like, see, that's a step in the right direction. Maybe this damn virus is going to go away.
Right.
Release them and let's see what it do. Let's see if the virus just magically go away when you release it. Or his heart can be hardened and he can say, I ain't releasing them. They going to stay in them cages. And then guess what? You're going to wake up with 700 new cases every day you wake up. People going to be quarantining in their house and you still going to have new cases. There's no escaping this because this is a virus. So meaning you could quarantine in your house all you want. But the moment you open your window up for a breath of fresh air, the moment you go sit on your porch, the moment you go take that little stroll to the store. Rapper Slim Thug said, he had the COVID-19 and he couldn't understand how. He said the only time he left his house was to go to the store to get groceries, to stay in the house to quarantine, but he never really left his house. But somehow he still tested positive. And when he left his house, he had on a mask and gloves, got his groceries, and got right back home. And he don't understand how he caught the coronavirus. Because a mask and gloves is not stopping it. And then think about it. Everybody is selling a mask and gloves. And anybody just buying them. You think them masks that they got with them little ass made up filters on it is going to stop the coronavirus? You need some surgical. You got to be making $150,000 a year to get the proper mask sold to you that's going to prevent you from the coronavirus. And that's not even going to work. That might loosen your chances up by 3%. But just still, there's certain masks out here that have the proper filter for, you got smoke, you got when you're dealing with a fire, when you're dealing with a hazardous situation, going into a room with some type of airborne disease, you could put on a mask and prevent it. Well, guess what? They're not selling that at your corner store and your poppy store. I mean, it look nice, but that mask ain't doing a goddamn thing. What's saving you is the Most High. Think about how many people that they slave with masks and gloves on and a full gown on to protect them. If anything splash on them or get attached, it can't even get attached to their clothes because they got the gown on. And then they call out next week because they got the coronavirus. And they at home stressed out like, how in the hell I got it? Because when you lift your mask up to take that puff of that cigarette or that weed, that thing came right in. Yeah. That thing invited itself right on in. Let's read a little bit more of the story.
Mask wearing in Georgia is not mandatory, but has been strongly encouraged by Governor Brian Kemp and Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Now it's mandatory. It's mandatory now. Just like it wasn't mandatory in no places, really. But it's mandatory now. And it's not even mandatory because a lot of people is starting to realize that this mask and gloves ain't gonna do a goddamn thing for nobody, man. Like it's not doing nothing. Read. That was it on that. All right, get me 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. Now you got some Christian pastors that would not even that. I guarantee everyone in there was Christian. That was going to that goddamn club was Christian. And they are that way and continuing to be that way because they believe they have free will. They believe the Most High is giving them free will to be who they are and live who they are and come as they are. That's who they believe the Most High is giving them free will. So who are you to judge me? You can't judge me. Only God can judge me. Well, it looked like he is judging you. It looked like he judging you pretty damn good. You telling me that you hooked up the IVs and all type of liquid machines. You got to take 13 pills a day telling me only the Lord can judge you. Well, don't you think he's judging you? And maybe I'm just the person that's trying to help you get out of this situation. And I just think it's crazy how people can read the Bible and read how all the prophets had someone come to them directly and tell them to stop doing something. But when it comes to us, we can't come to them and tell them to stop doing something. Like, damn, even if I was Jeremiah himself in the flesh, you wouldn't listen to me. You didn't listen back then. So why are you making, even if you hear a voice in your room telling you to stop doing something, you wouldn't listen. Think about how many crazy stories you hear people say. I was in my room and, the cup just fell off the TV and the picture just dropped off the wall. I didn't see the door swing back and forth and I heard a voice say, I know what you're doing. Man, that was crazy. Yeah, man, that was super crazy, man. That voice was crazy. Even the Lord himself could come down and tell you, stop doing this, and you just going to go tell your homies the next day you heard a crazy voice talking, and all your homies going to do is laugh and say, nigga, this nigga's crazy. He talking about he heard a voice. And you going to be like, yeah, maybe it's just me. I'm just tripping. So all the voices and everything you hear telling you to stop doing what you're doing, you don't give a damn about. You don't give a damn about. So read on. Read.
Come. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 13. There have no
Matter of fact, hold that. Get me in Genesis where they slept with the daughters of the giants, I believe. You know what I'm talking about? Daughters of men. The giants slept with the daughters of men. Go ahead.
Talking about Genesis chapter 1. Chapter 6, verse 1.
6 verse 1. That might be it.
I'll get it for you.
All right. The why. Let me get to it.
Oh, God.
Got it?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. That the
They
son
begin to multiply on the face of the earth. They begin to have kids. They begin to have kids. Read.
And the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took
Who are
them.
the sons of God? Go ahead.
The sons of God will be in this context, the sons of God.
Yep. Or what?
I would say us.
Yeah, yep. Or Israelites. Well, people in the truth. Sons of God. Read. Why is it saying sons of God?
What is it? Sons of God. Men that were in the truth that knew better.
Right. Appreciate it. You can paraphrase it.
The Adam was given dominion.
Nope.
I'm sorry. For sons of God.
He that do the will of my Father is the Son of God. So Christ letting you know anybody who do what the Most High say, you consider a son of Him.
And also, you like, if I may,
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
you be a little more deeper than that, like how, okay, the Most High, when he say like you his son, you know what I'm saying? It's like you practice his culture, when you practice his culture and laws, he's raising you up. But when you practice the laws of the culture of the white man, he's raising you up as a father instead. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why the scripture in John chapter 8, verse 44, where it says, you are your father the devil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because our people would rather celebrate 4th of July and the rest of these holidays instead of the lower holidays, the white man is spiritual father, not the Lord. I mean.
Right. Which is on point, and that's perfect. You do what the Most High say, He's telling you what to do. He's raising you up. He's a father. Right. You do what the oppressor do, he's raising you up. He's your father.
Right.
That's why 8:44 said, ye are of your fathers the devil. Why? Because they did everything that the devil did. They did everything that their father did. Lie, cheat, steal, kill, all that.
Right.
So Christ said, look, you do the will of my Father, you are a son of God. Read.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they were fair, and they took them wives.
And they was fair, meaning what? They said the daughters of men, and they was fair. Go ahead.
They were appealing to them.
Yep. Fair, I mean, they thought they was pretty. They liked them. They was cute. Go ahead.
And took them wives of all which they chose.
And they took them to be the wives. All what they chose. Whoever they chose became their wife. And he's the Son of God. Read.
The Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
Meaning what? The Most High Spirit shall not always strive with man. Meaning what? Go ahead.
When it says the Most High Spirit now going to strive with man, the Lord is not going to rock over.
Yeah, he's not always going to keep going back and forth with you. Look, I told you what not to do and you still doing it. It's not going to be like that all the time. Eventually, he's going to punish you for it. Something's going to have to happen. And what was that punishment? Read.
Come. There were giants in the earth.
No, read after strive with men.
Come. For that also is flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Yet his days shall be 120 years. Meaning what? His days shall be 120 years.
The Lord had cut our years of living.
Yeah. Had to cut it down. Remember, you could read in Genesis where who was it? Noah was like 600. The people in the scriptures was hundreds of years old. They was living hundreds of years old. Now the Most High saying, listen, I ain't even letting y'all live that long to where y'all give me 600 years of just not listening to me. So look, y'all ain't gonna listen to me for 120 years for a short period of time.
It was there 9,000.
Right. You had so many people in the scriptures who lived very long. Now it's just like, I want you to run around this long, eating pork and not listening. Let me cut that back. I'm gonna just cut your time back. It's a punishment for you to not listening. You know, you got so many people in the scriptures who was hundreds of years old.
Right.
And Most High was just like, all right, let me fix that. You've been on this earth 500 years and you still smoking. Nah, everybody after you and your generation gonna live to about 120. They ain't gonna live as long as you. And 120, which goes into how we say that none of the numbers as far as living in the scriptures is literal, because how often black people live to 120? Niggas be happy to make 30, 21, 25. Every hood movie start out when they make 21, it's a celebration. Every rapper that come from the hood have a song talking about how it's almost a miracle how they made it out after this age. How many people you know live to 120? None. When I hear family members live to 80, I'll be like, what? I done heard family members say, I don't even want to live to 90. That's too old. I'd rather die before them. Like 120 ain't, it seemed like a long time, but it's nothing. 120 mean they gonna live short. Their years are gonna be short. You're gonna live shorter than what you normally live. So now for us as blacks, you lucky to see 21. Lucky. And when you see 21, you got a whole story to tell about what you saw from the time your brain started to allow you to remember things up until you 21. Got a whole story to tell.
When you turn 21, you got a whole bunch of stories to tell about how many of your friends died.
Mm-hmm.
Make it see 21.
About how many friends died, didn't make it to C21. How many family members didn't make it to C21. You got so many stories. At 21. 21 is young. Like you got a 21-year-old now. Like, how old are you? 21. Oh man, you just was able to start drinking. That's everybody's favorite line. You 21? You just able to start drinking, nigga. That ain't nothing. Like you ain't seen nothing. Cause you surprised when somebody say, yeah, 21, but yeah, I turned 21. If they ain't got no story behind it, you like, oh, you a baby. Bro, that's nothing. 21, what the hell is that? I wish I was 21. God damn. You 21. Get your young ass out of here. Right. Read on.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
Giants in the earth meaning people of high stature. Giants don't mean people walking around 13 feet tall who was so goddamn tall that they couldn't fit in nothing and they was just terrified. I done seen people say, well, they felt bones of giants and all type of crazy stuff where it's just like, there wasn't no people walking around that was 20 feet high. Like you, that comes from your elementary Jack and the Beanstalk stories, the troll under the bridge story where giants means one word. And that's what they do nowadays, where a lot of words don't have more than one meaning to it. It got one meaning. And they program us to think like that.
Yeah, they evolved to something else.
That's like it.
I said a lot of words back in the day, they evolved to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like the word virgin too, evolved to something else.
Right, virgin nowadays means something different what it meant 100 years ago.
Right.
Gay means something different than what it mean 100 years ago.
Right.
You know, gay back then means you happy. And that's what all culture, which is heavy. Give me the scripture where it say, he seek to change the time and dates. Daniel 7:25, Most High in Christ. Where that's just a lot of these, you know, meanings to a lot of things change, and it don't have the same meaning as of today. So you see the rainbow. The rainbow nowadays is disgusting. It's what the Romans did back in 70 AD. Took the temple and took something that was so precious to us and made it goddamn so evil. Like nowadays, we look at the Shield of David as something so evil, when that's something that's, you know, honorable to us. You know, that was something that we hold honorable. We used to look at a rainbow like that's the Most High keeping His word. You know, the Most High is keeping His word every time we see a rainbow. Now to see it and see a rainbow when you got a bunch of homosexuals, you know, dancing, it's like, God damn, the Most High can't have nothing. You know, so a lot of things that meant something to us now means nothing. It don't mean nothing. Go ahead, read the scripture.
Book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
He gonna speak great words against the Most High. How do he speak great words against the Most High?
About the homosexuality, the turn lifestyle.
Right, like he's going to.
God, when Christ has no color, God loves everybody.
Listen, all those is great words. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine walking into a place saying, "I know crack is killing me, and I need to find a way," or "I know being a homosexual is killing me, and I need to find a way to fix it." And you walk into a place that say, "It's not what you're doing; it's your mindset. God loves you, even though you are that way." He came to you because he knew what he was doing was wrong, and it was killing him. Just to hear, nah, the Most High accept you the way you are. That's great words to a crackhead. That's great words to a homosexual,
Right.
to a lesbian. Can you, the LGBT ABC 123 community, can you imagine if they walk into a goddamn church and hear, you know, nah, it ain't what you doing. You just got to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's it? That's it? Like, come on. I feel as though everything in my life been going bad since I've been doing this. I've been getting the feeling in my stomach that me doing this is not right. And I know it's not right because everything been going bad since I've been doing this. Just to come to somebody and say, I need help. Well, what you need help with? Listen, came across a scripture in Leviticus. It said God was against homosexuality. No, brother, that's the Old Testament. Nah, sister, that's the Old Testament. Don't listen to that. Listen, I smoke a lot of weed. And when I smoke a lot of weed, I do a lot of dumb things. Take a lot of crack. I strip. My life been going bad since I've been doing this. Is God against this? To hear, no, God ain't against this. You just haven't accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That is great words to hear.
You come from the say, Christ died so you don't have to see
Listen.
You long to believe in Christ.
Listen, one of the lectures I had, I went into that. And that was last minute. Like on my way to the lecture, I seen that. And I just had to throw that in there somehow, some way. I was like, I got to make this fit when he said that. That is great words. just imagine how many people in that audience who was going through something because they know they was doing something. Like, yo, I just slept with my best friend or my brother or my cousin's wife. I think I need to confront him about it. Or I just sold my goddamn mama TV and got some crack. I think I need to, replace it. Or I've been killing. I've been stealing. I've been, I'm Deacon Jonathan and I've been sleeping with little boy Jared. Maybe I need to confess. I'm going to do it here today just to hear if you keep the law, you are going against Christ. They're going to sit back and like, oh, what other little boys in here I can have then? God damn. If I have to sleep with these little boys or smoke this weed or sell this crack. If I don't, then I hate Christ. That's a great word. So guess what? I'm going to do what I always do. Like I always say, Snoop Dogg, right, was on a mission to find God and became a Rastafarian. And niggas is like, yo, Snoop Dogg a Rastafarian. And I'm like, are you surprised? Yeah, I'm surprised. Why would you pick Rastafarian out of everything? He smoked weed. What the hell you mean? Rastafarian, to get close to their God, they have to smoke weed. So he picked a God who allows him to do what made him come search out God. I never understood that. You did something that made you come search out God, and you find God, so-called, and that God tells you can continue to do what you do, just believe in me. You know what they do? That push people to continue to, I'm going to get the scripture. Finish that. Finish what you got.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
He shall speak great words against the Most High. Read it again.
He shall speak great words against the Most High.
He gonna speak great words against the Most High. How he speak great words against the Most High? Say it.
To reiterate, sir, he says that Christ died for everybody. It's okay to be a homosexual. Homosexuality is an alternative lifestyle. John 3:16 applies for everybody.
Or go ahead. Or more so, yeah, God is going to love you the way you are. He's going to speak great words against the Most High by telling you, if you listen, Christ died so you don't have to keep the law. When Christ died, so he can give you a second chance so the law won't keep killing you. But he's saying Christ died so you don't have to keep the law. Or, nah, that wasn't the Lord that did that to you. That was Satan. That's speaking great words against the Most High. Telling somebody who coming to you for the smack dead truth and saying, listen, why is this happening? And you goddamn know well that the Most High is doing it. 100%. But you tell him Satan is doing it. You speaking great words against the Most High. Because now, and which I never understood, if Christians believe Satan do every bad thing, why don't you believe the Most High not in your life then? Because bad stuff always happening to you. If bad stuff always happening to you, why don't you even sit back and say, damn, is God even with me? Because if every bad thing is happening because of Satan, when is something good going to happen? So I can say the Lord bless me. You know, the Lord ain't blessing you because you get paid Monday, it's Sunday, and you smack dead broke and you don't know how you're going to eat. Monday come, your check hit. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Sunday, it was Satan keeping food out your mouth. Monday is the Lord. Nah, that's not how it works. Nobody don't even think that's how it works. But if everything always going wrong in your life, when is the Most High blessing you? Why don't you sit back and say, well, damn, is the Lord even blessing me? I was taught that Satan do all bad things. I done lost my job, got put out. I keep getting my ass whipped everywhere I go. My mama don't want to help me. I got cousins that don't want to deal with me. I can't get a job. I keep getting pulled over and thrown in jail. You know, if so many things happening to you that's bad, when are you going to think maybe the Lord ain't with me if Satan is doing a lot of bad things to me? They don't even think like that. Read on.
Come. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hands until a time, and times and dividing of time.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
Right. All right, get me Ecclesiastes. Matter of fact, before we will go into that.
Like I said,
Go ahead.
I want to put a precept for the statue. High means renowned man or legendary man.
Right.
Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 3, verse 26.
All right, let me get to it. And you say is this a precept for the statues?
For how you brought a giant, right?
Mm-hmm.
How a giant means a well-known man,
Right.
a man of status.
Mm-hmm.
That right there.
All right, yeah, you can read it.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
There were giants, there were the giants famous from the beginning. They were of so great stature and so expert in war.
And you said is this a precept to
Say about
the Giants? That's the perfect precept. That's the perfect precept on the giants and the earth and the statures and them being famous and their status and everything. That's why I say there were giants famous. Like these was big time people that was considered, the big dogs, in other words. Like Martin had a few episodes where Bull was the big dog. And then you see him, a nigga like 3'4", and they like, how he the big boss and all that. But yeah, he run things, he call shots. Because being a big dog don't necessarily have anything to do with your height. And that's what a lot of people like to associate it with. They think giants, oh man, so that means they gotta be super big.
Yeah, like Tupac, a giant rap.
Right, Tupac, a giant in rap, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Jadakiss, so forth and so on. All these people is giants. They the big dogs of hip hop. But you meet half of these niggas like 5'5".
Right.
Lil Wayne 5'4". But he's a giant in hip hop.
Right.
You keep thinking when you hear Lil Wayne and giant, and then you see him, you're gonna be like, how in the hell is this nigga giant? Like, yeah, there you got nothing to do. But that's definitely a perfect precept too. What scripture I call for? All right, we're gonna go into James 1:13. No. Salaki. Psalms 37:23. Let's get that first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37:13.
23. Salaki.
Psalm 23.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Psalms, chapter 23 and
37 and 23. The water.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down.
The steps of a good man is what?
Are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way.
Read.
Though he fall, he shall not utterly be destroyed.
Now,
he shall not be utterly cast down.
How does he fall? Let's say the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his ways. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. Meaning what? How does he fall? Go ahead. Yeah, making a little mistake or something. Though he fall. Now, if we have free will, why is he falling at all?
Right.
Free will should mean your decision, live your best life, and you cool. If the Lord was, all about free will, such about free will, it shouldn't be no consequences for not doing what he say. Because it should be an option. Do what I say, or you don't have to do what I say. Which is crazy because nobody go through life that way. You don't go to a new slave and, the boss say, look, here's what you have to do. This is what your job requires. Clean this, clean that, type this, type that. But you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Change this, change that, fix this, fix that. But I'm just telling you, that's what I want you to do. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Nobody live life like that. They go through a new slave and they hear what I got to do. Okay, I'm going to do it. It's what I don't have to do it. I'm doing this on my own. You're doing what you're doing because you were told to. You go get a house. Okay, you have to pay $1,200 a month to stay here. Okay, that's what I have to pay, but I don't have to pay it. Nobody thinks like that. They think, oh, I have to pay it. Why when it comes to the Bible, you hear don't eat pork? Oh, is he telling me don't eat pork, but I can eat pork because he gave me free will? Name one thing in life you go through that gives you free will. For some reason, when it comes to the Bible, you got free will. When it comes to the Bible, everything changed. You don't even go through your life learning. A parent that say, yo, your son is 10 years old and don't know how to tie his sneakers. Oh, because I don't believe we should be taught by men. So my son gonna have to find God, and my son or daughter gonna have to learn from God how to tie his sneakers or her sneakers. Why? Because I don't believe you should be taught by men. Nobody do that. Yo, why your child always walking around, shitty? Excuse my language. Oh, because they should learn how to bathe and wipe themselves according to the Bible. Nobody thinks like that. You got a baby, you're going to change that baby. You're not giving that baby no free will. But you believe in free will? What age do free will come in at? Nobody never put an age on to it. So if that's the case, why when it comes to the Bible, you got free will and you get to do whatever the hell you want, and you ain't got to be taught by no man when it comes to the scriptures? Because that's your misunderstanding according to your lust and what you want to do. Read on.
The Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young and now am old, that I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
Give me James 1 and 13.
James chapter 1 and verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, nor neither tempted any man.
How can a man be tempted?